And I know if 50 Cent is listening, he's not going to be happy about this. He tends to not like this tax policy, but I want to be very clear. This is about $20,000 a year. It's a rounding error. And I do have to say, even though we have a disagreement on tax policy, every time I get a death threat, I still listen to many men. It's true.
Republicans actively protect pedophiles.
DL Hughley just went off on 50 Cent, and it's got everyone talking. He didn't sugarcoat a thing. DL said he's tired of watching rich celebrities act like they still represent the streets when in reality, they're living in mansions, far away from the people they claim to care about. He called out 50 directly, saying that the minute someone tries to pass a policy to help the working class, these so-called real ones start panicking.
Here's what's interesting to me. So Mamdani is going to be the new mayor of New York, 34-year-old kid. Like I said, I live in New York. I couldn't vote in that election, but if I could, it would have been an easy choice. But here's what I really don't understand. The man who is actively trying to use hunger to get his political way, saying that people won't have food unless they do his political bidding, is saying that the man who wants to make rent cheaper, public transportation cheaper, and food cheaper is the one who is ruining in America. So the man who wants to starve you to get what he wants thinks that the dude who wants to feed you, house you, and get you, make you able to get around cheaper is the horrible one. That tells you everything you need to know about where we are.
My job as someone who believes deeply in the public sector is to ensure that we're delivering public excellence. And that means every dollar that we raise, I want to be able to prove to you that it's every dollar that's being well spent. That's the relationship there. And I do have to say, even though we have a disagreement on tax policy, every time I get a death threat, I still listen to men.
It's pure hypocrisy, according to DL. Now here's where things got crazy. Zohran Mamdani just got elected as New York City's first Muslim mayor, making history. The man hasn't even moved into City Hall yet, but 50's already online saying the city's doomed. He posted about how businesses would leave, crime would rise, and taxes would go through the roof. Like, bro, the man just got sworn in. Let him breathe.
I propose is that we raise $10 billion to pay for our entire economic agenda and start to Trump-proof our city, because we know he'll use federal funding as leverage over the city. And we will do so in two key ways. The first is to match the state's top corporate tax rate to that of New Jersey. We are at 7.25%. They're at 11.5%. Corporations can pay it over there, they can pay it over here. And the beauty of it is that it doesn't just apply to corporations headquartered in New York City. Because when you say this, people will say, well, they're going to go to Florida. Wherever you are headquartered, as long as you do business in the state of New York, you are taxable for that corporate tax. We're talking about corporations that are making millions of dollars, not in revenue, but in profit. And the second is taxing the top 1% of New Yorkers. We're talking about people who make $1 million a year or more, taxing them just by flat 2% tax increase. And I know if 50 Cent is listening, he's not going to be happy about this. He tends to not like this tax policy, but I want to be very clear. This is about $20,000 a year. It's a rounding error. And all of these things together, they make every New Yorker's life better, including those who are actually... To you, 50, if you are indeed watching, or anyone else who's watching this show, is I continue to think that having the top 1% of New York City, who are making more than $1 million a year, having them pay 2% more for an economic agenda that would transform every New Yorker's life, including their own, is something that is worthwhile. I have to say, even though we have a disagreement on tax policy, every time I get a death threat, I still listen to many men. It's true.
Well, you take many men for motivation. I was going to say your answer sounds a little bit like clickety clank, the money goes into my piggy bank.
Wow.
And if we had more time, we'd do more 50.
DL wasn't having it. He fired back, saying, "It's funny how people forget where they came from when they start cashing big checks." That line had social media going wild. Fans started debating who was right, DL for calling out the hypocrisy, or 50 for speaking his mind. But deep down, everyone knew DL was hitting a nerve. And get this, the situation got so heated that Mayor Zohran Mamdani himself had to respond. He tried to keep it calm, saying he respects everyone's opinion, but reminding folks that his focus is on helping working families, not pleasing millionaires. His policies include rent freezes, affordable housing, and free public transit, all things to make life easier for real people, not the rich elite. But of course, 50's comments turned it into a full-blown celebrity feud. Now it's DL versus 50, and the whole internet's watching. Then, as if that wasn't enough, 50 doubled down by posting a slick dinner photo with his boys. The caption? Escape from New York. Hit the road. All roads lead to Shreveport. You could practically hear the shade dripping through the screen. He was basically saying, I'm out, forget this city. But what he didn't say out loud is that this whole move benefits him way more than it hurts New York. Because here's the thing, Shreveport, Louisiana isn't just some random place he picked. That's where 50's been quietly building his next big empire. Through his company, G-Unit Film and Television, he's leasing massive studio spaces, setting up production stages, and launching a $50 million entertainment district down there. He's trying to turn Shreveport into the next Hollywood South, branding it as a new home base for all his upcoming movies, shows, and business deals. Basically, he's saying if you want to work with him, forget New York, come to Louisiana. So why is he so pressed about Zayn Ani's win? Easy answer, money. Ani's new tax plan is about to hit the rich where it hurts. He's raising income taxes by 2% for people making over $1 million a year, bumping the corporate tax rate to 11.5%. And here's the part that's got billionaires shaking, fixing that shady property tax setup that lets penthouse owners pay less than regular homeowners in the Bronx. Wild, right? Ani's also talking about flipping the script, shifting the tax burden off working-class neighborhoods and putting it on those high-end areas like Central Park South, where luxury condos get ridiculous breaks while regular families struggle to keep up. So now 50's out here acting like the city's gone just because he might have to throw a couple extra dollars into the system. People online are dragging him, saying he's proving DL Hughley's point perfectly, that some celebs only act for the people until it's time to actually help the people. It's like, come on, 50. You made your name off the city, but the second the city tries to help the ones who made you, suddenly it's RIP NYC. Man, the internet chewed 50 Cent up after that post. No mercy at all. The comment section was a full-on circus. People went straight for his neck, calling him a sellout and saying he completely forgot the block that raised him. One user wrote, "The guy who sold crack to his own community suddenly cares about their well-being." That one blew up with thousands of likes. Another person clapped back, "Didn't taxpayers cover your hospital bills when you got shot 9 times?" They were bringing receipts and reminding him exactly where he came from. And it didn't stop there. Another comment said, "Your grandma was on food stamps, bro. You really forgot that fast?" People were digging deep into his past, reminding him that the same programs he's mocking now are the ones that kept his family afloat when times were hard. Then someone threw in a wild one. "Won't be long before he's in Tel Aviv kissing the wall, LOL." That one had social media on fire. It wasn't just hate, it was disappointment too. Folks were saying 50 had turned into exactly what he used to rap against. Another rich guy acting like he made it all on his own. That's when DL Hughley jumped back into the mix, and he did not hold back. He dropped a message that hit 50 straight in the ego. It's wild seeing people like 50, who came from the struggle, now crying over policies meant to help the same folks they used to be. The man was preaching. DL made it clear. This wasn't just about taxes, it was about principle. How can someone who built their career talking about the hustle and the pain of the streets now turn around and mock people still living it? He kept going, saying it's crazy how all these rich celebs were silent when Trump was cutting food stamps and using hunger as a weapon against the poor. But the second a progressive leader comes along talking about fairness, suddenly they all find their voices. Now they're online fear-mongering, saying the city's doomed, when really they're just mad their tax breaks are about to disappear. Then things got even more interesting when Mayor Zayn Ani himself decided to step in and respond. Instead of getting defensive, he handled it smooth, pure class. After 50 joked that he'd pay the mayor $285,750 just to leave New York, Ani laughed it off and said, 50 clearly doesn't understand how taxing the top 1% benefits everyone. It was calm, confident, and hit exactly where it needed to. Ani explained that his plan isn't about punishing success, it's about balance, making sure working families aren't carrying the weight while the ultra-rich get away with paying next to nothing. And just like that, the whole conversation flipped. 50 looked like the out-of-touch millionaire, and Ani came out looking like the real one fighting for the people. Now everyone's saying DL and Ani tag team 50 so cleanly that he might just log off for a while. Social media is calling it poetic justice. The man who once said, "Get rich or die trying," just got checked for forgetting the ones still trying. But 50 Cent still isn't letting this go. He's heated over those new tax plans. Instead of backing off, he doubled down and posted a clip of Mayor Zayn Ani's response on his Instagram, adding a caption that had everyone talking. He wrote, "I think his intentions are good, but his tax plan's gonna run the big money out of the city. And if he defunds the police, they're gonna purge. All roads lead to Shreveport. That one post reignited the whole firestorm. But here's the thing. What 50 said there, it's straight out of the classic rich people playbook. That whole, the rich are gonna leave if taxes go up line is one of the oldest scare tactics out there. They've been pulling that move since the 1970s. Every single time someone tries to make the system fairer. The truth, they never really leave. Because as much as they complain, New York is still where the power, prestige, and money flow. You can't buy that kind of influence in any other city. It's the financial capital of the world. Billionaires talk about leaving, but they always end up staying because their empires depend on it. Now, let's break down what really went on behind 50's post. He's echoing the same kind of fear-mongering that big corporate voices have been pushing for decades, trying to make regular people think progressive policies will destroy the city. But guess what? That line never adds up. Take Bill Ackman, for example, a billionaire hedge fund boss who went crazy during Ani's campaign. He wasn't just disagreeing with policy, he went low, sharing racist memes about Ani and calling him a radical threat to New York. Ackman was loud about it too, claiming that if Ani ever won, he'd pack up his millions and move to Florida. It was a whole performance. But here's where it gets funny. The second Zayn Ani was officially declared the winner, Bill Ackman folded like a lawn chair. He went on Twitter and posted, "Zayn Ani, congrats on the win. Now you have a big responsibility." Just like that, all that tough talk vanished. Not a word about moving anymore. It's the same story every time. The rich threaten to bail, but when it's time to actually leave, they realize they can't live without New York's spotlight. So 50 saying the money's gonna run out of the city isn't some prophecy. It's a recycled fear tactic meant to scare folks into defending billionaire interests. And honestly, people are starting to see right through it. The same city that made him a legend isn't dying. It's just shifting the balance so that success doesn't come at the expense of everyone else. After all that noise, Bill Ackman suddenly switched up his whole tone. The man went from threatening to move out of New York to tweeting, "If I can help NYC, just let me know what I can do." Like, what? Now he wants to help? People online were like, "Bro, didn't you say you were packing your bags for Florida?" The internet wasted no time calling him out, saying, "Guess those Sunshine State tax breaks weren't enough to make you leave Wall Street behind." And that's when everyone realized it was never really about leaving. It was all just a big bluff, a scare tactic, plain and simple. Every time there's even the tiniest shift in power, when someone steps up talking about fairness, equity, or taxing the super rich, these billionaires start playing the same broken record. They start crying about how the economy's gonna crash, how investors will flee, how jobs will vanish. It's a full-on drama performance meant to freak people out before the election. But the truth? These rich folks don't actually want to leave New York. They can't. This city is where the real money moves, where the billion-dollar deals go down, where all the major investors, bankers, and media execs live. The power network here is unmatched. You can't recreate that in Florida, and definitely not in Louisiana, no matter how low the taxes are or how warm the weather gets. So what do they do instead? They bluff. They act like they're ready to dip, hoping the politicians will panic and water down their plans. And when that doesn't work, they pull the classic switch up, pretending to play nice and acting like they were team players all along. It's manipulation 101. And now, we're seeing the exact same playbook with 50 Cent and Bill Ackman. They talk big when they think they can scare voters or pressure city leaders. But the second the people don't fold, they soften up and start smiling for the cameras. They can't stand even a fraction of their wealth being threatened, so they do what they've always done: spread fear, twist the story, and hope folks will take their side. At the end of the day, it's the same game. Power, protecting power. But this time, people aren't buying it. They're calling it for what it is: a bluff dressed up as a warning. Here's the truth: all this so-called panic from the rich is just a performance. Every time progress threatens their comfort, they start fear-mongering, pretending they care about working-class people, when really, they're just protecting their own pockets. They act like the sky's falling, but somehow, their bank accounts only grow bigger and their influence only stretches further. It's the same tired act: play the victim, warn of disaster, and hope the public gets scared enough to back off. And that part where 50 Cent said Mayor Zayn Ani was going to defund the police? Straight up misinformation. If 50 had actually listened instead of reacting, he'd know Ani never once said he wanted to eliminate law enforcement. What Ani's proposing is budget rebalancing, shifting some of that massive police funding into things that actually stop crime before it starts. We're talking about affordable housing, better schools, mental health support, after-school programs, job training, all the things that actually make communities safer. That's not a purge. That's just common sense. Because here's what the numbers don't lie about. Cities that invest in people instead of punishment see less crime, not more. When folks have roofs over their heads, food on the table, and opportunities to grow, they don't need to turn to survival crimes. It's not rocket science. It's compassion mixed with logic. But instead of talking about solutions, 50's out here spreading fear for clicks, acting like New York's about to become a war zone. And let's be real, while everyday New Yorkers are stressing about rent, groceries, and delayed subways, 50's sitting in his mansion in Houston, worried about a tax bump that wouldn't even dent his fortune. That's the kind of disconnect DL Hughley was calling out. The moment when someone who built his image on get rich or die trying starts acting like the problem is poor people trying to survive. It's wild to see someone who came from struggle forget what that struggle even felt like. DL said it perfectly. It's crazy how quick people forget the hood when the hood stops serving their brand. And he's right, because this isn't just about one rapper or one billionaire crying over taxes. It's about a pattern that's been going on for decades. The rich always try to scare the public into thinking progress will destroy everything, when in reality, progress just means sharing a little more of what they already have plenty of. They'll use any trick, post dramatic tombstones online, talk about businesses fleeing, throw around words like collapse and purge, all to distract from the fact that they just don't want to give up control. They've done it for years and it works, until now, because this time people are paying attention. They see the manipulation for what it is, fear marketing from people who already have everything. The working class isn't buying the lies anymore. They're realizing that the ones yelling the loudest about saving the city are usually the ones who've done the least to actually help it. So yeah, 50 can post all he wants about RIP NYC, and billionaires can cry about taxes, but the truth's out there. The city's not dying, it's evolving. And the ones screaming the loudest are just mad they're not in charge of the change. So here's the wild part. Mayor Zohran Mamdani is literally just talking about making life better for regular, hard-working New Yorkers. And somehow that's what's got these rich folks shaking in their designer shoes. It's crazy, right? The man's talking about affordable housing, fair taxes, better schools, things that actually help the city. And yet, the ones crying the loudest are the ones who will still be living comfortably no matter what happens. And let's keep it real. The same people yelling RIP New York aren't going anywhere. They're still here cashing massive checks, making millions off the same streets and fans they now act too good for. They're building brands, filming movies, hosting events, all in the same city they claim is dead. The hypocrisy is unreal. It's like they love the city's energy, its culture, and its people, until it's time to actually give back to those same people. Then suddenly it's the city's doomed. Nah, that's not doom. That's growth. The truth is, the only thing dying is the illusion that the rich can keep running the show without accountability. So what do you think? Do you agree with 50 Cent that Mayor Ani's plan is going to ruin New York? Or do you think 50's just another one who forgot where he came from the second he got rich? Let me know in the comments below, because this debate's getting real. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts down below. Whose side are you on? Because trust me, this story's far from over. See you in the next one.